Hey, everybody. Liz here with Springfield Leather, and this is our Make Something podcast. I'm so excited today to have the one and only Kale Brucks here with Engine Co. Leather from up in the Jeff City, Columbia area.
Yeah, we've landed in Jeff City now.
In Jeff City.
Yeah, we'll call that home.
It's a good spot. I was up there just a couple weeks ago. I haven't been that way recently, and it was a nice little drive.
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
Born and raised.
Oh, are you? Nice.
Yeah, I lived in Old Summit for a long time.
Oh, that's where I live.
Yeah.
I moved there in like 2016-ish range, so I've been there since. I don't see myself going anywhere. I really like the area.
Nice.
So,
Folsom's a very quiet town.
yeah, not much going on there.
Middle of Missouri, there's not too much happening.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty calm. We got some lakes. People do lake stuff. It's pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
So you do leather things.
I do.
But you used to do fire things.
I did used to do fire things.
So kind of tell us a little bit about your background, how you transitioned from the firefighter life into the leather crafter life.
Yeah, I basically have been a fireman my whole life from about 16 to 36. I feel like it was my purpose.
Yeah.
That's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to be a fireman. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to do it. And all the way through high school and stuff, I was focused on going to college, which I went to college here at OTC to get my fire science degree.
Yeah.
And then that's all I worked towards was getting into the fire department. And I finally did, and I loved it. And like I said, I did it for about 20 years. Did a lot of things that a lot of people probably would never get to experience in their life. Some good, some bad, but
Sure.
It's part of the job.
What's your favorite thing about that line of work? Or maybe the thing that brought you the most fulfillment?
Yeah. So this is going to sound kind of bad, but I loved it when people's houses were on fire.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Yeah. You were ready.
Yeah. That's what we were.
It's somebody's worst day,
yeah.
and that's where you want to be.
Yeah. Obviously we did some medical stuff, but I didn't really enjoy that much.
Sure.
I wanted fires all the time. I read this quote the other night. Actually, I had a little thing I was at. A quote from Paul Hashhagen. I'm probably going to botch it, but he was a fireman in New York, and he said, "The fire department pays me to wash the fire truck and keep the firehouse clean. There's no amount of money they could pay me to go to fires. I do that for free." Yeah. Because you just love it that much.
Well, every time you go, you're putting yourself on the line.
Right.
And so, just like people going to war. You're going to war with a fire.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my favorite. That was my bread and butter. And seeing the young guys come in and, helping them get their skills up and kind of teaching them stuff you don't learn from a book, or you don't learn from you have to experience some of that stuff to learn. It's just not really teachable, but from a book. But yeah, so I did that for a long time, and unfortunately, I had some cardiac issues in 2021, and basically had to retire from the fire department. I had Engine Company Leather on the side as just like a hobby.
Mm-hmm. You've been doing it for a while.
I have. I kind of started messing around with it in 2012 is about the time frame. And then I think in 2014, I might have actually established an LLC and done some of that stuff. But it was, even though I did that, it was still kind of a hobby. I didn't really get serious about it until about 2017 or 18 when I started making relationships in the business industry, I guess, with some other firefighters that were business owners that wanted me to do a little manufacturing for them and different things. And I kind of was like, okay, I can do the fire job and then do this on the side and make a little extra money and learn. Yeah. So
yeah. What did you start out with? What took you to leather?
Oh, what took me there was in the fire service, leather's a big thing. So when I was, 16 or 17, I got my first radio strap. It was a leather radio strap. I didn't really understand how this was all going to come together later in life, but and then I got leather fire boots. And, you can get nylon straps. I think they're dumb, but
you can get them.
because I love leather.
Sure.
Yeah. You can get rubber boots, which are incredibly uncomfortable, or you could get leather boots, and then it just keeps going from there. I mean, the leather fire helmets, I've worn one of those most of my life. They're just traditional thing. They've been around for over 250 years, still going strong today. And it goes even beyond that. Leather fire buckets. I mean, that's how they used to put out fires. They would have buckets that were made out of leather, and they would carry them on a horse-drawn carriage, and they would get in lines, and they would fill them up with water and pass them to each other. And they would
Is it because they wouldn't heat up like metal would when they're why leather?
I don't know that they had that much experience in manufacturing maybe steel stuff back then.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking 1800s.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know that for sure, but that's what I would assume that,
Sure.
they were making things out of leather. I'm sure they were starting to get into steel and maybe aluminum, who knows. But yeah, so they used those. They would use they would make like little jackets to, if there was like a leak, they would wrap it around a hose or something, and it had belt buckles, like 4 or 5 of them. They would wrap it and
like a chap leg.
Yeah, clench all the buckles to stop a leak. And there's a lot of leather stuff that goes in the fire service. And then we kind of took it. The shields that go on fire helmets, that's a big product of ours.
Well, let's get okay. So, what did you first start making?
Yeah, so I first started making radio straps.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the first thing.
Yeah, and that was probably 2012 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot. I don't know much about the firefighter service and gear and all of that. What is a radio strap to a firefighter?
Yeah, so it's really important, because if you get trapped somewhere or need help or something, you have to use your radio.
Yeah.
So more than likely you would need to use your radio. And the way the radio strap works is, there you go. The way the radio strap works and is meant to be used is you put the radio itself in the bucket, and the strap goes together, and you wear it over one of your shoulders, left or right, it doesn't matter. It's interchangeable. And you bring your, you have the mic that you talk into. It's got a cord. You hook it on some loops, like up there, those loops.
Okay.
And what you do is then you put on your turnout jacket, and that all is underneath your jacket, so it's protected.
Yeah.
And then once you get everything buttoned up, you pull your mic out and hook it to yourself. And then one of the last things you need to do is make sure your antenna is sticking up out of your jacket so you can get good reception.
Okay.
That's the main purpose of it, but it's evolved into, because like I said, we are doing so many other things, medical emergencies and fire inspections or public education stuff. You'll see a lot of guys, they'll wear them just with their uniform as well. So they'll carry it around like that.
Kind of a little fashion statement too, or just a cool accessory.
Yeah.
So what's for you guys are the straps one of your biggest things?
They used to be. The helmet shields are taken off right now.
You do pretty cool helmet shields.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a long process. I'm yeah.
I remember a few months ago you were in and you were talking about buying all the cutting dies.
Yeah.
To cut out all of your letters and numbers and accessory parts.
Yeah, and we're not even halfway done, and I feel like I've already spent a fortune. So
yeah.
But yeah, we, when I was first coming around here, I think you guys did some clicking for us on some of the leather shields I hand drew. And it was just like veg hand blanks. And I was hand tooling all of those. Everything was done by hand. Hand tooling, hand painting, hand stitching.
Yeah.
Which they were nice. They were a great product. They looked good. They held up. They were really cool.
Yeah.
And it would take me 6, 7, 8 hours to do one,
whole day, right?
and some bloody fingers after saddle stitching. Luckily, I did it at the firehouse quite a bit, especially when I was at the slow stations. But and then as I guess business progresses, there's a couple different ways you can look at it, and my opinion is, well, especially since now my life kind of depends on it, since
Right.
this is my full-time job. But even before that, we were kind of making some moves to standardization, and I'm not going to say mass manufacturing because we're never going to do that or be that. But certainly
Some efficiencies.
refining our processes
Yeah.
and making things more efficient and a little leaner, if you would go that route. Just because, I mean, you just have to make a choice. I could do those hand shields like that all the time and maybe do 20 a year
You're right.
and probably be happy with it. But I wanted to build a company so I could hire people and build a culture and support the community and things like that. And so you really can't do that at the level I was at. So it
Right.
was like, I made the decision to, stop doing those and invest in the dyes and the machinery, and which actually they're also more affordable for fire departments and stuff like
Right.
that. So, you're talking a couple $100 for a handmade shield that takes me a couple days, with all the processes, or $55 for a shield that we can whip out in a lot less time than that.
Right. Right.
And, obviously fire departments are funded by taxpayers, and they're supposed to be stewards of the money. And so, it's probably a smarter decision to buy a $55 shield for your firefighters than
Yeah.
a $200 shield.
And I think there'll always be a place for that hand done one like you
Yeah.
used to do.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
if you're in the service for 25 years and you want to get a cool custom shield,
Sure.
there are guys out there that still do that. I don't know if you ever offer to do that anymore. Maybe
Yeah,
at some
so-
point that could be something that
Yeah.
that you could add back
Right.
to those people that want to get more of a statement piece than like your everyday. But I think that that's really awesome that you understand that these guys they want to have good equipment. They want to have a solid product that they can rely on. And it's not going to break the bank to get that done.
Right.
So you improving your process just helps them.
Yeah, it does. And then, like I was saying, with that, I was able to hire. We now have 3 full-time people and 4 part-time, but all our part-timers are firefighters.
Yeah.
For their full-time job. So I'm, providing a second, because firefighters have to have a second job because the pay sucks. I mean, it's just there. The schedule's pretty good too, but anyways.
Pros and cons.
Yeah. So, I enjoy doing that. And then, with that, then you kind of keep the same culture.
Mm-hmm.
It all ties together. So
Yeah. I was talking about that with it was Tom yesterday, and then Adam beforehand, specifically with Herman Oak and their culture and what they
Mhm.
try to build, and finding a company or building a company that, it doesn't really matter what you're doing necessarily, but doing something that means something to you,
right.
not just doing a job to
Yeah.
do a job.
Right.
And so, you having that as a person, and then also being able to provide that community space for people that are like-minded, and have the same drive to work in the space that you're providing.
Right.
So I think that's really awesome, to be able to build that. I mean, I think back a lot to the before industrialization times,
Mhm.
I suppose, and where a family would have a business, and that's what they did,
Right.
generation after generation, and they would build it, and maybe they would bring on an apprentice if they didn't have a kid that wanted to do it, or whatever the case would be.
Mhm.
But to just have a very close-knit space where you're transferring just really specialized skills that matter
Right.
to somebody.
Yeah.
Matter in the world.
Yeah.
And make a cool thing.
Yeah. Keepers of the craft, kind of,
Yeah.
if you will.
How do you feel like you fit into, the small leather craft? I feel like you're a little bit outside of just your maybe typical leather craft people that are making bags
Right.
and the holster people or the watch band people
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
When you go to shows, you're going to huge firefighter shows.
Right.
Or firemen. What is that called? Is it?
Yeah. Fire trade shows.
Fire trade shows.
Firefighter
Okay.
trade shows.
So I know that you do a lot of those.
Yeah.
And those are really successful.
They are very
for
successful.
your part of the business.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what it takes to do a show.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. We go to one in April every year. It's in Indianapolis. It's called Fire Department Instructors Conference. And there's about between 40 and 50,000 firefighters there. And they come from all over the world. Obviously, most are from the United States, but there's a good portion that come from Canada. And then, you'll have all kinds of other people there that maybe the first time you go there, you're like, wow, this is bigger than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing all these different people, and because all their stuff's so much different too. Their gear is so much different, and the way they do things is so much different than the United States. Not necessarily Canada, but some of the other places. And so yeah, it's cool to see those people and get to interact and just learn more about the industry as a whole. But I mean, it's one of those things where that show, we've been doing it for 6 or 7 years. I mean, we're prepping for it 4 or 5 months in advance. Wow. Just making as much product as we can and stuffing it away, which it's one of those shows that we can't not go to.
Right.
Because I feel like if we don't go, then we're going to lose our kind of brand presence. People expect us to be there. Mm-hmm. But from a business standpoint, I mean, the amount of money you put up front to get, we sell those fire helmets, the leather fire helmets for Phoenix. And, we usually buy anywhere between 100 and 200 of those to take with us.
That's a really big expense.
Yeah. And you're talking $800-900 a piece. So we're fronting all that money and plus all the other stuff we buy. And it's a big gamble is what it really is.
That's a whole quarter of your year.
Yes.
You're prepping for a show.
Yes, absolutely.
And not doing too much else probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to keep up with our orders, but then our orders start to get behind, and it's a whole thing. I'm not trying to make excuses because I know other businesses have just as many issues, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a balance that you have to figure out how to hurdle.
Yeah.
Every year.
Sure.
So you're planning out for it, because if you're not sending out product and getting those sales, then, making payroll for 3 months for 3 full-time people and 4 part-time people that are relying on you for their livelihoods.
Right. And from some guy who was just a fireman, I didn't go to school for business. I don't know a lot about that stuff. So it makes it more challenging.
Well, I think that you're doing a pretty spectacular job. I know working with you here at Springfield Leather, we do a small amount of production for you. Mm-hmm. Just working with you as you're my favorite client to work with, because I feel like you're always prepared in advance. And so I bet that translates to the rest of your business, where you try to be the couple steps ahead.
Yeah.
Which is hard. It's hard to do.
It is very hard
when you're in the daily grind.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that about you. Going back to what is your favorite thing about the firefighter world? Like in your experience, or like just growing up, what's some of your favorite little facts and tidbits about that industry that are different and unique?
Well, I mean, my favorite thing about it is the camaraderie, like the brotherhood.
Sure.
I mean, if you don't know anyone that's a fireman, or you don't know much about it, I mean, it's literally like a second family. I mean, you eat with them, you sleep with them, you exercise, you shower. I mean, not in the same shower, but I mean, you probably might know more about them than maybe their significant other would be.
Because aren't you on for like 3 or 4 days and then off?
Yeah, so we worked 48-96, so 2 days on and 4 off. So you're spending 48 hours with someone.
Yeah.
Like
in a building.
Yeah. Like you can't be like, honey, I'm going to run to the store. Well, you got to stay together.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that's really neat. I mean, you kind of hear a lot about that. Just, I feel like it's like a tiny little military unit that you live in for 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
2 days on.
No, the fire service is a paramilitary organization. That's how it was structured and how it's still pretty much ran today. So, fun facts though. That's a good question.
What's like the coolest thing about like one of the trucks or like about old trucks? I don't know. I feel like you have a lot of like weird history things.
Yeah, I like old trucks. All the new stuff is just so, computer run, and like they make trucks now that you can control things with a tablet, and it's like,
oh,
why? It's no. Let's not do that.
Don't you normally have like big clunky gloves on?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't understand it. Simplicity is forgotten for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But yeah.
I remember when Springfield got their first red fire engine. Yeah. It was such a big deal because it was like those yellowy, whatever green ones for forever. And then like we had a red fire engine driving around.
Yeah.
They would bring it down to the ice rink because they had like a little hockey league that they would come and play. And so I'd be down there and they'd bring the red. They'd all come in their fire truck.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. No, classic older fire truck. Just everything about it's awesome. They just perform. They sound good. Big diesel motors. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't beat it. These new ones sound like spaceships, and you can control it with a computer. So it's kind of weird. And they cost about 20 times what they used to. So
doesn't everything?
That's crazy. And they take like 24, 36 months to get once you order it.
Oh. Where are they making them? Do you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's quite a few manufacturers. The biggest ones are like Pierce is in Wisconsin and Suffin's in Ohio. There's like E1 and there's some big manufacturers that have been around for a long time. And then there's some other, so like those big manufacturers, they make everything. The smaller manufacturers, they buy like a cab and a chassis and then they build the rest.
Okay.
So just kind of a difference in what they do, but yeah.
Interesting. I know like when we buy leather machinery, it's just so specific and like 3 people make it.
Right.
And yeah. So it's an interesting little niche to look into. I know one thing that you really love. We were just talking about like you wear a leather fireman's helmet. And you love the leather fireman's helmet. A few months ago, we were talking just about like different iterations and kind of different styles. So like, what's your favorite vintage fireman's helmet? Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, they go back to the 1800s. A luggage maker, Henry Gratacap, is the guy that started it basically. And essentially he probably took like a top hat design and developed it down. But, for the last couple hundred years, they've essentially remained in the same kind of shape. You got the dome to protect your head, and then you have the bill that sheds water and whatever else. But yeah, those classic fire helmets from the late 1800s are probably my favorite. They're just so small. Yeah, just like that. They're so small and light and just, handcrafted.
Tell me about the metal.
The finial on top there, so the eagle.
Where did those come from?
So that's what holds the shield. So the shield would be on the front there. But,
okay.
Back in the day, they had different, obviously the industrial kind of revolution, right? That you had all that neat metal work and stuff like that. So they would incorporate it into stuff like this. So like that's if you go back one, you're good. That one right there. So that to me looks like a beaver or something. I mean, they still make things like that today. They had like beavers and dragons and guys with trumpets, and they made all kinds of cool, ornate things like that. But
can you still get wild ones? Like, are people still making them?
You can. You can actually. So use a company in St. Louis. Actually, it's called Liberty Artworks, and it's a family-owned, firefighter-owned company that still produces. They do a lot of like statues and plaques and like
Okay.
commemorative things, but
Yeah.
they also produce a lot of the shield holders for different brands of fire helmets.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Very small,
yeah,
little niche
it's cool.
product.
Yeah, it's cool. So
That's neat.
Yeah.
They're very interesting, your setup. And I know, you like the small, slim, this kind of compact style. However, that doesn't protect the head well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we could go into deep conversation on this because, then you get industry and safety, and I'm not going to say that industry shouldn't be safe, but it seems like most of the time we go beyond safe and we go for profits. So like we these companies regulate what you have to manufacture, specifically because they know they're going to profit off of whatever they've set that standard to be.
Gotcha.
So that's a sad part about this industry, but it's kind of
Just become
Yeah.
It's probably so small and niche that they get to drive a lot of the specs.
Right, which has made everything go up.
Yeah.
Crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
But-
So what's a day in the life of the Engine Co. leather company?
Well, my dog and I wake up.
Got Andy on the floor here.
He's
for
right
anybody.
down there.
What kind of boy you got there?
A Labradoodle.
Oh, the Labradoodle.
Yeah, we wake up, we go to the shop, and he's him and Shannon are
Best
they're
friends.
tight.
Yeah.
She does feed him a lot, so I think
That's-
that has something to do with it. But
Mhm.
it's kind of funny because depending on what time I get there, there'll be some people on the shop floor, and when I say shop floor, we do have a brick and mortar, but it's not really like you walk in and go shopping. Like you walk right into our production floor.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of weird, but again, the whole business is not normal, like you were saying. So just because our market is so small.
Well, and how long have you been in that building?
We've been there since 2022.
Okay, so about 3 years.
Yeah.
And before that, you were
Well,
in
I
a much smaller.
started in a garage and
Yeah.
moved to another garage, and then got a little warehouse space for a couple years, which, when I was making those moves each time from a garage to a 2,000 square foot warehouse, I was like, this is huge. And then in less than a year, it was completely full.
Yeah.
And it's like, I
It's
never
not
thought
enough.
I would. Yeah. And then we got into the location we're in now, and it's 7,000 square feet. And I was like, this is really huge. And I'm kind of right, because there's still quite a bit of stuff we haven't filled up yet. So, but yeah. So we walk in the mornings, and all the people are out on the production floor, and they'll all like put their hand out or something, and Andy will run right by them, right back to the back to see if Shannon's in her office.
What breakfast did you bring me today?
Yep. That's how that goes every time. So, no, we, I mean, since the guys are, full-time firemen, sometimes they might be there, sometimes they might not be. So it's not always like the standard, same group of people. It kind of rotates through the week. So, but yeah, we every Monday morning we have a meeting, just to kind of lay out the week and recap the last week. And then, just kind of lay out the projects we need to get accomplished. And I was kind of talking about that culture stuff. We like to go out to lunch for if someone's having a birthday or whatever. Like we try to do, fun things and show our appreciation and stuff like that. It's not
Treat each other like people.
exactly. Yeah. And, have fun, but get your work done.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a pretty easy day.
Nice.
I can't complain. The only thing is I can complain about is the business aspect of it, the, invoicing and
All the paperwork.
all the paperwork and the legalities and Yeah.
I'm sure with the firefighter industry, there's a lot of legalese
Yeah.
things that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Andy doesn't like
He
it.
does not like it.
He's not a fan. He's like, if you're doing paperwork, I don't know. What does he like to do? Does he like to play fetch?
He does. He loves to eat leather.
Sure.
Um,
Who
yeah.
doesn't? Yeah, Andy, the person, his dog Rose. I think you probably met her.
Yeah.
She always just something in her mouth.
Yeah.
Usually it's leather.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I want some right now. Go get me some.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, so that's a day in my life. It's pretty simple. Just Andy and I going and having fun, going back home.
With some people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So you've moved a couple different times, kind of staying in that same location. That's home for you.
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
I'm calling it home now.
Pretty middle of the country.
Yeah.
So what for you, as you built Engine Co. Leather, what were some of the goals that you had for the business?
Yeah. So I would say I didn't really have a lot of goals until I got into it. So 18 and 19 and then into 2020 when I decided that I was actually going to build a business. Some of the goals I set, and I would set yearly goals, but I would set goals like double my revenue every year. I set a goal to ship products to all 50 states.
Oh, cool.
I set a goal to be $1 million company. I set a goal to, I don't know. I set lots of goals, and I thought they were unattainable, really. I thought that's crazy. That's never going to happen, but we've crushed a lot of our goals.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So we became a $1 million company in 20. My goal was to do it by 2025, and I think we hit over $1 million in 2020 or 2021.
Nice.
So it was quick. And that sounds great. $1 million is not that much when you spend 900,000. So,
right.
But it's still a cool thing to say you're $1 million company. So, and then what else did I say?
Well, so just in your product process or with your things, what kind of goals did you have for your product line that you've accomplished, or I don't know, personnel wise?
Yeah. So the shields was a big thing. We knew that the shields were going to start taking off. So we wanted to improve that process as much as we could, and we still are. But, we're, aside from the gluing of them, so, because we use vinyl to print the names and stuff right now. So if you look at our helmet shields, you'll see where they could say whatever fire department and stuff. So we do that on vinyl. Well, the vinyl can have a reaction with the glue if it's not where it can air out.
Okay.
So that right now is our biggest holdup. We have to wait about 24 hours before we can ship it. So, when we could if we didn't have to do that, I was making a shield by hand in 8, 9, 10 hours. We could make one of these shields now in 10 minutes.
So I know that one thing that's been important to you that we've talked about over the years is doing as much business in the U.S. And with U.S. product as you can.
Sure.
So I don't know. Do you know a percentage of how much of your product is completely USA component, I guess?
Yeah, I don't completely know that. I mean, your hardware is going to be the hardest thing. I mean, getting hardware in the United States is nearly impossible.
We don't make a lot.
No, not at all. So aside from the hardware, I try to use, obviously, leather. From most of my leather comes from Herman Oak. And then, a lot of the glues and if I'm dyeing or doing any of that stuff, a lot of that stuff's US based. And if we're painting, I use a lot of Angeles paint there out of California. So, I mean, it is important to me to do it. And I try my best to source everything the best I can in the United States, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
But,
you just can't do it.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say we're at least a 80-20 probably.
Nice.
So
That is impressive.
yeah.
Well, so what's next for the engine company?
That's a good question. We want to keep growing. We want to keep expanding.
Yeah.
We're really wanting to hire another full-time person, just to help with production and some marketing and different things like that. All the things you do by yourself when it's small, and then you start to grow, and it's
A lot of stuff gets put on the back burner.
yeah, and you're like, well, I need someone in sales, I need someone in marketing, I need someone to do this, and as you scale up, so that's one of the things that we're gonna try to figure out and work on.
You said you're moving your website.
Yeah, we're
that.
building a new website on Shopify. It's kind of been in progress for a little while, which the nice thing about that is we're going to have some more interactive things on the website. So as far as the shields go, like right now, it just kind of has like a picture of a blank template. On Shopify, we have it built where you can actually build it.
And it'll like put it together
and it starts
for you.
putting it together.
That's
so like
pretty snazzy.
you can change all the different colors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think customers are, for the most part, they don't mind, but it's easier. It's a lot easier, I think, when they can visually see it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it makes the shopping experience more fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
gets them excited.
Yeah. They know exactly what they're going to get. So yeah, we'll have that. And then, we just, things that we're learning, as far as marketing goes and stuff, we'll have a spot where customers can log in, and because we have a lot of returning customers, which I love, and it speaks, I think, for our company and what we produce. But we want to give back to them for returning as well. So we'll have a customer login where they can earn points and come back and get something at a discount. We're working on some other projects that I'm hoping to actually be able to talk about it in a couple years, maybe, or less.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a lot of time and effort, but I'm excited about it. We're just,
for a little while, you were kind of thinking about maybe expanding a little outside the range of fire equipment.
We were. We had talked about doing, kind of your belts, wallets, bags, stuff like that, little knick-knack stuff. And we have a great spot for it. We just don't have
the time.
We don't have the time. We don't have the people, and we really don't have the knowledge, which I'm not scared about that part, because I didn't know anything about leather or sewing machines or any of that stuff, 12, 13 years ago. This community teaches you those things in the leatherworking industry. And, it's such a, I don't want to say weird. It's such a cool community because people are always willing to share how they do things, but they always say at the end, but there's no right way to do it.
Right.
So just, play around and
this is how I do it.
Yeah. See how you like to do it.
Right.
That's one of the neatest things about this industry is just.
Do you have any leather mentors that kind of helped you out along your way?
So the whole reason I got started in this actually was when I was a fireman in Columbia. There was a guy there who was an older guy, had been there, I don't know, 18, 19, 20 years, something like that. He did leather work, mostly like gun belts and, gun rigs and stuff like that. But he would dabble in other things. But that was kind of his specialty, doing that type of stuff, holsters and stuff. And I started talking to him about it one day, and I was like, "You think you can make me a shield for my helmet?" And he made one and brought it in, and I was asking him questions, and he could kind of see like the twinkle in my eye. So the next time we were on shift together, he brought in like, I I think a book and 4 or 5 tools and a little scrap piece of leather.
Mhm.
And he's like, just play around with this and see what you think. And so I did that. And then he was the one that told me about this, you guys. He's like, yeah, I run down to Springfield Leather all the time. And he's like, go down there and check it out. And so that's how I got started.
That's how you got started.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It's like it was you in the past, in the future, helping yourself.
Right. Exactly.
And now
Yeah.
you're doing the same for
Yeah.
the young kids.
Yeah. So
Coming up. So who, like most of the guys that work for you at this point, you have like your full-time guys, are they mostly retired firefighters?
no.
No.
So Trevor, we just hired 7 months ago. His dad's a fireman in Jeff City. So he's got like a connection to it.
Yeah.
But no, he was just young. He's a real young kid, just kind of enjoying life. And I think, just had a part-time job and was making a little money and just enjoying life, really. And
Yeah.
but he was like, all right, I'm getting to the point where I probably need some more income, need some insurance and different
Life stuff.
Yeah, life stuff. And so, yeah, he's been with us like 7 months, and it's just awesome to have people like that are just so eager to learn and work hard and do good. So
Nice.
Yeah, and then our part timers, they're decently. I think they're like in their 30s or so.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've been in the fire service for quite a while, and so, but they've also been with me for quite a while. I think a couple of them have been there 4 or 5 years. So
Nice.
yeah, and then we brought on Shannon a couple years ago, who you know and have met. And she keeps everything running. She schedules everything for us, and
She keeps all the boys lined out.
yeah, she keeps all the boys lined out for sure. So yeah, she does a lot of our marketing and social media stuff, and
Nice.
she does a lot.
She took a lot off your plate.
Yeah, took a lot off my plate. She handles a lot. So
Kind of opened you up to able to probably run the business more than
Yes.
just do the work.
right, yeah, and like I was kind of talking about some of the business mentors that I know that are firefighters and they have firefighter owned businesses. A lot of them they would always say, you either, what I'm gonna botch this already. You either work in the business or you work for the. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think that sounds right.
You either work in the business or you work on the business. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I got it. Andy, we got it, Andy. We're good. Yeah, you either
Thanks for the
work
help.
you work in the business or you work on the business. So I think you know what I mean, but I can
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of break that down a little bit. You're either gonna sit there, you're pounding on leather, you're sewing leather, you're assembling stuff, or you have people that do that for you, and you're doing things like this,
And you're, yeah.
making business connections and sourcing materials and making sure people are getting paid and
Yeah.
sending out quotes and learning more and
Improving
Improving.
the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's hard to do that when you literally just have to get the work done.
Yeah.
Very
very hard.
Yeah. And it can kind of, I'm just going to throw Kevin under the bus right now. He struggles with the working on the business side
Mhm.
of things
Mhm.
because he loves to work in the
Right.
business. He loves to get his hands
Yeah.
on every pallet of leather that comes in, all of our odd lot stuff, making sure it's sorted correctly, making sure, it's going to the right places and
Right.
and we have what we need and sometimes it can kind of be hard to pull him out of that
Right.
and say, hey, we need to look at this really big picture for a minute.
Right.
And we need to get some oversight into this whole thing.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm just talking about Herman Oak all the time, but I think that I was talking to Adam and he was like, it's so important to go and see, like as a manager, or he's the sales rep,
Mhm.
so he's sitting in the nice air conditioned office at the plant.
Right.
And he's like, you have to go and walk through the plant.
Mhm.
So even, once you get to the point where you're not doing the business anymore, still making sure that you're going and seeing, checking on those guys, making sure you're listening to whatever issues they might be struggling with, so that then you can go back and be like, okay, what are things that we need to work on the
Right,
business
right.
to make sure
Yeah.
that the guys that are in the business can do their
Right.
work efficiently
Sure.
and get everything done.
Yeah. And I share that sentiment with Kevin, to be honest. Like I like getting dirty. I like doing
Yeah.
things like that. And I truly don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you have the understanding that if you are going to do that, then you need to surround yourself with people who can do the other things.
Yeah.
Like at least give them a somewhat of a vision and a direction, but then, let them have their knowledge and their creativity to take the company to the next level while you you still, you're still steering the ship, but
Right.
they're really doing a lot of the work, and that allows you to keep your hands dirty too.
Right.
That's truly what I want to do.
Does that correlate a lot to how a fire station runs?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you can break it down, and you've got your administration, right? Where those are the people that sit in the office and make the decisions on where the fire department needs to go. And then you got the firefighters and line personnel
Mhm.
that make sure the job gets done. So I kind of like a little mix of both of those.
Sure.
Only because, if you're at a certain level in a company, let's say entry level, you're always going to have some thought of they're not doing something the way they should.
Yeah.
And so you can't really not want to try to get to there to fix it if you're going to be saying that all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a little part of you that's going to have to want to do some administrative stuff and make things run smoothly and right. But then for me, the bigger part is I'm always hustling. I want to be doing something different all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, sitting in an office and trying to do business
Losing your mind.
sucks. Yeah. And then Shannon's always coming to me like, hey, what, something about marketing or whatever. And she's always mad at me because she's like, we need to have some meetings. Like, I need some direction here. And I'm like, you got this. I don't want to give you direction because I don't want to mess with it.
I don't want to have to think about that.
Yeah. But that is the stage where it is. I think it's important to recognize that you need to find the people to put in place around you
You can't do everything yourself.
Right.
If you're trying to scale anything at all and not just sit there and be like, I'm going to take one order at a time.
Right.
And I'm going to get that. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a team, you have to be able to let the reins go a little bit,
Right.
but have the people on the other side of those leads
Right.
know where they're going.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to another part of that, and I listened to, not read, but listened to lots of books because I'm a listener, not a reader.
I used to read a lot, but now at this point I just fall asleep because I'm getting old, I guess.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Well, speaking of old, I turned 40 yesterday, so
Happy birthday.
thanks. Some things I heard in some books, are pay people to do the things you're not good at.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it's hard because you don't have a lot of capital and you think things are crazy expensive, which they kind of are.
Yeah.
But then once you start building it and you look back and you're like, why didn't I have somebody do this way sooner? Why didn't I pay the couple $100 that it cost me to do this instead of trying to figure it out for 3 months myself when I could have been using that time to do something way more important?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those growing pains of learning where to pass on the load or to find the right fit to get that done.
Yeah.
So, well, you're hopefully, what did you say, 21 you went full time?
Yeah, 21 I went full time.
21.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got 4 years under your belt in full-time leather, but over a decade in the industry now.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. And gosh, I know I'm creeping up to that 40 and I'm just like, I know we're not ready to be there yet.
I can't believe it's here. Your parents always talk about how you should enjoy your childhood because once you get older, time flies.
It does.
They're 100% right. I don't know why we wouldn't listen to them anyways. They've lived it.
Well, because you're young and dumb and you think
Yeah.
that you know better because your parents are dumber than you somehow. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Those arrogant children.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I couldn't, other than firefighting, I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than this. So,
Yeah. Were you ready when you got that news that you needed to
no,
step away?
I wasn't, because I thought that I was going to go back. So for like the next year and a half, almost 2 years, like
Mhm.
all I was thinking about was going back to the fire department and trying to get back. And then I don't know, finally it kind of just hit me like, you're not going back, and you're not going back because you still have some problems here and there, and you can't go back and put people, your coworkers at risk and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like, I finally realized it, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely not going back, but I'm still going to be really involved
Right.
where I can be and give back and donate stuff and supply to fire departments and stuff like that. And, still have my face around a lot, and, build a business and employ people and build a culture. And like I said, establish myself in the community and
Mhm.
have fun and just try to be an example of, hard work and determination, and doing the right thing and being good to people is the way to go. And everyone would be a whole lot better off if we could just all
Do that.
do that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And another thing in this industry, some of the products, it's, you got big corporate companies putting some of this stuff together. I can remember actually being in a trade show once, and a guy from a large company came by and was looking at our radio straps, and he was looking at, because we use harness rivets to secure the ends where they attach to things.
Okay.
And he was looking at them going, man, I wish we could use these. Like, it's so much stronger. And it's like,
You could.
like, you don't need to make that extra 25 cents per thing. It's just, I really truly hate seeing the cost of things, and especially putting that cost on the backs of men and women who are protecting our communities and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm always cognizant of the price point of our products, and it's such a hard balance because I also have to make a profit to survive. It just is what it is.
That's how business works.
So yeah, I'm always going to, this company will always be about and always focus on, the quality of our products and our price points. And, we just need to survive. We don't need huge profits.
Yeah.
That's for the big companies that think they need to have that. We just need to make a little money so we can pay everybody and maybe give a little here and there in the community and just be happy about it.
I think that's a fantastic goal. I think there's so many people nowadays that think that they have to be multimillionaires to
Right.
live a good life.
Right.
But honestly, at the end of the day, when your life is coming to an end, it's going to be about the people that were in it
Yeah.
and the years that you spent
Right.
uplifting your community, being involved, making some kid smile at a picnic,
Right. Yeah.
Or being a part of somebody's journey. I mean, just firefighting seems, once again, it's super high stress, but then also like you're super chill until it's go time.
Right.
And then your life, your team's life, and then the people in whatever structure it is, like, is depending on
Right.
you
Yeah.
to have what you need to take care of the
Mhm.
situation and to hopefully bring everybody out okay.
Right.
Like, this is the worst moment in anybody's life,
Mhm.
is what you're going into. And I think remembering that that's why you're doing what you're doing, and just, I don't know, I make knife sheaths. on the side. Like I do this little thing. Somebody's going to carry it in their pocket.
Mhm.
I want to make a good sheath
Right.
so that I don't, they don't cut their finger because the knife sheath falls apart or falls out of their backpack and they lose this thing that their grandpa gave them or whatever the case may be. And so I think that you can take, I'm not doing life or death situations in my work, but you can still take those elements of the just the seriousness of a craft
Mhm.
and wanting to make something that is a good product that somebody can afford. That's not,
Right.
you're not out here being like, I'm gonna sell you some high-end handbag
Right.
that really wasn't constructed very well, but it
Right.
has some name behind it.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna charge you thousands of dollars
Right.
for some brand so that some guy in a mansion can, I don't know, have gold wallpaper. I don't know,
Right. Yeah.
just kind of acknowledging that we're all on this planet
Yeah.
moving around the sun together. And that sometimes life is a little bit, we don't need to take ourselves so seriously
Mhm.
and give back a little bit.
Yep.
Just find the people next to you that you can make a difference. And I think that's what I love about the leather community. I know for years now I've been telling you that you need to go out to Sheridan, Wyoming
I know.
and go check out that show. But
I
it
know.
truly is when you get out there and you're hanging out with the tanneries and the teachers and then just the craftsmen and the suppliers and just the camaraderie that is the leather community and how much we all care about using these animal wrappers.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's such a cool community and there's room in it for everybody. I strongly feel like there is room in it for everybody. We could all buy a few less things
Mhm.
in life that are mass produced and spend our money on a couple nice leather products
Right.
that are going to last you for a decade
Mhm.
or longer.
Mhm.
And I think it's really cool that we get to be a part of that.
Right.
And bring that. I hate disposability.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I think that's also part of our job to educate customers on that part.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're such a I want it now, buy it now society that if they see it, they're like, they're gonna get it right now. But if they understood, I guess, like how a well manufactured product can hold the test of time and how much less money you actually spend over that time, that I think they would choose that and wait a little bit of time to get it over
Right.
the buy it now thing. But
I think patience is a virtue.
yeah.
That we could all have a little bit. There was we have a bag maker that I was lucky enough to interview a few weeks ago, and she was at one of her craft fairs that she sells her bags at, and
Mhm.
she had somebody come by, and her bags are not even very expensive, $100 to maybe $150.
Mhm.
Not terrible
Mhm.
for a handmade bag
Right.
in Springfield, Missouri, made with leather bought at Springfield Leather.
Mhm.
And she had this lady come up and, she's looking at a $125 bag and she's like, oh, I just couldn't. She's like, I only buy my bags at Walmart. I just like, that's so expensive. And so she was asking her, she's like, well, how much did you spend on the bag? And she's like, well, I budget $25 every month to buy a bag. I mean, I get that people like to change out their
Mhm.
fashion accessories.
Mhm.
But I was like, literally in like 5 months, you could buy this bag and then you wouldn't have to buy another bag
Right.
for like 5 years.
Right.
And you would save $25 every month
Mhm.
on that thing. And I it's really hard to get that through somebody's head.
It is. Yeah.
Or maybe they just don't think about it like that.
Right.
You have to sit down and break out that little part of it to get it to really sink in that you're actually wasting your money on these disposable items
Right.
that you get. So I think we have a especially important task in the world of like bringing back the non-disposable good.
I agree. One small leather shop at a time.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Well, Kale, is there anything else that you would like to talk about today?
Not that I can think of. I'm pretty easygoing.
You are very easygoing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder about you back in the shop, just staring at stuff.
Yeah. Shannon says I'm an onion. I have layers. You have to peel back layers to get to me, to
You're a good
understand
Shrek.
me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I think we made it through like 2.5 layers today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I think Andy is ready.
I think Andy's ready.
I think Andy's ready. Thank you for coming in. It was a pleasure to speak with you today, sharing your story with us.
Yeah. I appreciate being here.
So absolutely.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks.